Criteria for good case studies. Dear students, there are particular criteria which should be known to researchers who opt for case studies. You know, case study is a kind of research design which is followed by researchers nowadays, and the case studies are conducted. So what are those essential characteristics which are, important for satisfactory case studies, right? So satisfactory cases are basically those studies which are based on continuity. So this continuity is really important because that's the point which is desirable for information. So your case is basically the continuation of something, right? And there is a possibility that would be follow-up study to your case as well, right? So cases are connected on the basis of continuation, right? So that is one continuity as a feature of good case study. And then the completeness of data. Since we know that a case study is an exhaustive study, it's a comprehensive study of a single case in real life situation, and every aspect of the case is evaluated, right? So that completeness of the data is really important. Nothing is missing. There is no missing voice when the data is collected, right? So that is completeness of the data, and that's about the range of the data which is applied for particular cases. And then the validity of data is another feature. Like other researchers, that is a must for case studies. It should be a very valid data, and you must be testing what you are supposed to test, which is the very common definition of validity. So your data is very valid, and it is based on addressing the research questions. Okay, so validity of the data is there, and then the confidential recording is there. That's another feature of case study, because in professional life there are some issues, some problems which are to be addressed in the case of particularly when you want to evaluate a case which is a very rare case, and particularly such a feature is required from the researchers who go for exploring in the area of health sciences, right? So that's the diagnostic of particular clinical issues, right? So the confidentiality is really important, right? So one example which I can give here from the area of health is that when the researchers, they explore the life events of a single case, for example, the case of a AIDS patient, okay? So the case is thoroughly evaluated, the comprehensive picture is drawn, and at the same time, on the basis of the professional confidentiality, the information is kept confidential. So that's a feature of case study. As I discussed in one of the earlier sessions, that case study is particularly the kind of research which is followed by people who are dealing with crimes, okay, like the police investigation cases, the criminologist, all right? So in this case, and of course, for the health experts who explore the health issues and the health problems for the sake of solving problems. So those are the people who are required to take care of such confidential matters. Okay, and particularly in education, we might also have some matters which are to be taken confidential. So in this case, that's the feature of case studies, that the confidentiality is maintained. Okay, and then the professional problems are evaluated and the solutions are given. One feature of case study is the scientific synthesis, right? So the case study is created in a very effective way, and the scientific experiments are carried out, and the statistics and numericals are involved in such a way that the synthesis is scientific and the findings are true, and the interpretation of the evidence is given on the principles of scientific studies. So these are the features which are to be followed and which are to be used as the criteria for good case studies.